The sideline one?
Yeah. Anyways, welcome back to Hel Talk. Matt is with us this time. Huge surprise. He don't have a bedtime today, apparently. And just me and Miguel with Matt. Matt got more questions for us to answer. And let's get into one question I got is how do we feel about the new WizKids spend $50 on the store, get a hero click. It's called Jersey Devil. So what's the thoughts on it, guys? You got to get 13 curse tokens. You get one every time you generate a character's generated.
Generate, or is it just generate a character in general?
It's friendly.
So it's when you generate.
Yes. But if if you get 13 of the curse tokens, on that 13th, it replaces the generated character with the Jersey Devil on top click.
Yes, you get a free 80-point character, but I mean he still swings 12 for 5 right off the bat, so it's not bad at all.
Yeah, I have nothing really negative. It's a free sideline element, and I guess it just fits in certain teams. So, for example, like I would play him probably with Dr. Doom or even Prime Namor. Prime Namor in the beginning generates two of the I think he generates two of the sea whatever you want to call them, sea blades.
Sea blades, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that makes it easier, right? No, because they don't die. Yeah, they do die, right? If they're not in water.
Kind of die. I don't. They're not easy to kill.
Because I'm thinking like Camo, right? How he makes the shark bystander, but does the shark bystander it dies when there's no water? But does that apply for these sea blades?
I don't believe so. Let me double check. Sea blade.
The sea blades don't die.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
it's a good piece for in modern age. It's a good piece for teams that you specifically built for it, because there are a couple teams that you can generate 6 or 7 things a turn, and so that means on turn 2 you can get them.
So like multiple man. I mean, I think that would be the prime example. And but I think it's good for being it's free. I mean, there's nothing really right. I mean, the only thing I don't like is it to spend $50, right? But that really realistically should have been a con exclusive to be given out at big events.
Boy,
but
it will be
$50. Spending $50 is cheaper than going to a convention in the first place, and it's more accessible. Is the best way to put it. You can actually get this piece.
Yeah. There's pros and cons. I think it's like, so if you're going to a convention center, right? Then you would be like, yeah, this would be pretty cool to get. And then like the other side of it is, well, if I'm not going to a convention center and there's stuff that the WizKids has, I guess I'll spend $50 and get the free con exclusive or LE or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I think it's good. I think it's gonna hold, and it's funny because I think it's gonna hold at $50, right? Because you have to spend $50.
And it's good enough for that.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think on the secondary market, I think it's gonna be at $50, if not more, right? Depending how many they have, this and that. It's a free game, sideline element. But that's what I think. I wouldn't sell in less than $50.
I mean, the big thing is it also has pulse wave, which I think is nice to just, I don't know, generate that like across. If you have a character that could generate that across the map, I mean, you just generate a character in the pulse waving in one turn. That's pretty good. But I think building teams to actually do it is fairly easy in this meta. It doesn't seem hard, so.
Yeah, I mean, you look up the word generate in special text and HCunit or something, and I mean, there's so much stuff that comes up, and there's a lot of stuff that generates two things. I mean, you got I mean, time breakers are the obvious, go to. I mean, you would probably play even the bystander because the bystander generates the two, and then the other two can just generate one every turn. You got things like Chase Mysterio that can generate, one, two, or three characters a turn. So there's a lot of other things that just at the beginning or at the end of the turn will generate something for free, and yeah, but but of course, like I said, in modern age you have to build a team for it, but then unfortunately, it's kind of like if you're in competitive, if your opponent sees that you have that, like you have the generations team, and you're like, all right, well, guess what I'm picking with my Chair Panther, so yeah.
I mean, all right, so let's be real. If we're gonna choose that as an obvious choice for Chair Panther, I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's fine. I mean, your team's gonna function regardless. I'm just saying it's a free sideline host. Let them choose it with Chair Panther.
But like I said, it's like in modern, you have to specifically build to do that, in a reliable way. I mean, maybe getting him out on turn 4 isn't that bad, but I think like in Silver Age is where I think he actually shines the most, because I almost think practically every single Silver Age team can generate loads of characters, especially things that can generate stuff and that's all autonomous, and so it's pretty nasty.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and the fact that it's not unique. If I'm correct, so you could actually generate like two to three to these guys in Silver Age, which I think is especially since sideline ain't like compacted anymore, since you can't play double Black Vulcans and double Grodd and everything. I mean, this is two of these guys on a team that across the map. That's pretty nasty.
Yeah,
but you can't have two in Silver Age anyway, because everything's Highlander.
Ah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but his effect doesn't really work if there's more than one, because his effect if multiple effects trigger at the same time and then they all resolve, they're all trying to replace the same character, and as soon as one of them gets replaced, then the other, however many else you have on a sideline can't get replaced anymore because that character's already. So it doesn't matter. There's no point in running more than one.
Well, we can move into your questions, Matt, now.
Yeah, no, but I also did want to point out, because I mean, Andrew made a good point in our Discord, is that POC Devil gonna require either an errata or just the rules to change, because the rules currently state that the only characters that can be replaced are those that either began the game on your main force or on your sideline. So, and this game effect is specifically trying to tell you to replace a character that wasn't on either of those. So, yeah, it's probably going to have to specifically.
Well, doesn't the card override the wording? Because it says replace the generated character.
Oh, right, but again, like if a card tells you to do something that's strictly against the rules, then and if it doesn't reference the rule that it, like, so for example, like the golden rules of HeroClix that can't be broken at all. If a card said that it broke the golden rule of HeroClix, it doesn't. It's like nothing breaks the golden rule of HeroClix. And then if a card, if a power says that it breaks a silver rule of HeroClix, it would have to specifically reference that power and say, like, this card breaks this Silver Age, not the Silver Age, the silver rule of HeroClix. So, but even then, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's totally fine if they want it to work like this, but it would just have to say that, like, as an errata or as a clarification, that for this specific game effect, it doesn't need to meet that requirement that the replaced character has to come from your main force or sideline. That's all it would. It would just have to have that, in there. But I mean, I don't think anybody's going to be complaining about the intention of how to use this figure. I mean, I'm 100% against people who like go, oh, this character breaks the rules, so therefore he just doesn't work. And it's like, dude, no, yeah, we all know how he's supposed to work. Just do what it says it does. You know what I mean? So, but it is interesting that WizKids will write a ability this way and not realize, like, hey, this ability that you just made, it breaks the rules of your own game. So maybe you should reword it so it doesn't do that. But it's just interesting.
I wonder if the pieces, the LEs specifically, that aren't made by like people, like the for example, like Scott Crampton Pog or something, like LEs like that, those get ran by like players, so the players play test it before it gets finally printed. But I wonder if anyone actually play tests the LEs directly, like.
Let's be real, bro. No one's really play testing this.
It's just worth the question. It's like, where is their playtesters? With some stuff, it's like, come on.
Some of the stuff like is questionable, right? And obviously, you could say, hey, yeah, we are playtesting this and that, but let's be real. Some things are just questionable. Like, how did this get passed in production line? Are we comparing at, like, for example, right, a Scott Porter Pog versus a Scott Crampton? Oh, well, Scott Crampton could maybe take out Scott Porter if he rolls a crit hit. But I don't know. I don't know how to play this, and I'll be honest with you. Some of the stuff just it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I guess going to Matt's questions, right?
Oh yeah, so I wanted to, do things. So to put some context into this, similar to before, Maverick and Miguel, while they agree on a lot of things, there are times where their initial ideas or their initial opinions vary wildly, and so because of this, I think it's just interesting to bring up some topics that could result in them having different opinions, and then we can have the audience decide if they are Team Maverick or Team Miguel on certain issues. So the first issue I have, or the first topic I have, is what do you guys think is the worst chase in Smash and Destroy?
Worst chasins. Ugh.
Yeah, so you can take a minute and look over. I can just list them
I already got it.
So we have.
You're gonna say Tony Stark, bro. We already know he's gonna say
No. I like Tony. Tony's good, bro. Scientist scheme? That's good.
No. You were gonna say Tony Stark.
No,
Hold up.
I'm saying.
Let me think about it.
Figure yours out.
While you guys are thinking about it, let me just list them all, just so they're all fresh in our minds. So you have Chase Thor, you got to Chase Tony Stark, Chase Hulk, Captain America, Magneto, Juggernaut, and Freya. So those are all the chases. I'm sorry. Ooh, I missed one. And Captain Marvel and Absorber Man. I missed those two. I didn't scroll down.
Yeah,
so.
don't forget the 007 G, if I'm correct. Chase.
Yeah. Exactly. No, okay. Set number 7, Chase. Yeah. Absorber Man, Captain Marvel, Freya, Juggernaut, Magneto, Captain America, Hulk, Tony Stark, and Thor. So we got quite a bit of chases in this set. But what is the worst chase?
Fuck. I haven't even looked at the whole set, dude. Based on some of the stuff that I've seen, well, I'm gonna have to say it. I mean, all right. Well, I got my pick. I'm just gonna go with it.
Exorbitant Man. Like, what the fuck is that?
All right. So you went that route. I was gonna say Hulk. I think Chase Hulk is the worst one. That's just my opinion. I like I said, and there's not. I can't even like argue because I'm driving right now and I'm not fucking looking at my phone to give you context. But I just don't think he does enough for his points. That's just my argument.
He does enough for his points. He does 10 times more than fucking Exorbitant Man.
Yeah, but Absorbing Man is a sideline element. He's a sideline game element.
He's not sideline. You can play him.
That's fucking free. Why would you play something that's free?
Oh, so you're telling me you're going to put all the Absorbing Mans over fucking the sideline we have these days?
Free on the sideline.
Yeah, so free on sideline for when a character with an Exorbitant Man trait is hit by an equipped opposing character after resolutions, you may replace that character with Exorbitant Man. Who the hell is hitting Exorbitant Man with anyone? This guy, he's so dookie. It's 75 points of I wasted fucking points on my team. Like, you're never touching this guy ever.
Oh, hold up.
If you're telling me a 150-point Hulk that can only ever take 2 damage in this world,
and this is why I said I haven't looked at the set, but based on what I saw, right? I don't think I would ever play Hulk. I think there's a world you do play Juggernaut. I think you play Juggernaut over Hulk. And I do believe I think Chase's Ornament is playable for his points.
Oh my,
even though I have no clue what he does. All I know is he's a fuck.
Yeah, okay, so for everybody, we'll just say, so I do think it's fair to say, I'm not trying to say like Maverick, you're wrong in this, like this is just all opinion stuff, but I do think it's fair to say that putting up the 007G Absorbing Man vacuum just by himself, I don't think that's a fair thing to do, because I believe if you're playing Absorbing Man, you're playing some other versions of Absorbing Man on the sideline. I don't think you're
even saying vacuuming him. I'm just saying in general, Absorbing Man as a whole is the most retarded thing I've ever seen put into HeroClix. To have 7 characters in a common slot, and one of them being a chase at that low number for whatever reason. You know, whoever made that is stupid in the first place. But in the second thing is it's just bad. Every single one of them is just genuinely not good.
So
the only arguable one is Water, because he's actually able to do something.
So, to your point, so you were saying that Hulk is decent or whatever. You're saying that Hulk is better than Absorbing Man because he could take only 2 damage, but Absorbing Man's defense power is that he takes 1 damage.
So you're gonna take 1 damage and do no damage? Because I don't see the fact that Absorbing Man has full movement charge with 12 attack, super strength, and 4 damage and giant size, so he's got instant willpower. And then also could have power cosmic. Hulk can't have that.
But so Hulk will never get he won't have the cosmic energy at the beginning of your next turn.
Hulk's a giant. Hulk's a giant, so he always has willpower.
No, I get that, but I'm saying cosmic energy, right? So you won't have like what was it, the protected or whatever. You protected on
But
whip.
why
But I
would
guess
you
it
need
doesn't.
protected on your next turn?
But that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make a difference. You have willpower
I don't get
anyway.
what you're saying.
It's just the safeguard outwit that he gets from it. That's really all he gets.
That's all he gets. A safeguard on whip, bro. That's it.
Which that's beneficial for when it becomes your opponent's turn. I can't be just it can't charge now. Can't use super strength. Plus, you can also not pick that. You're just putting that into place. You get one of 4 effect. You get 2 of 4 effects. You get to pick 2 out of the 4.
Okay.
One is heal a click.
So
One
you're
is
just
take a
saying,
max of 2
right?
damage.
So you're only gonna just choose what the same effects all the time? Then
Well,
there's no point having other stuff.
you're probably picking make a close attack and take a maximum of 2 damage from attacks.
So that's the only two things. So why? So that's what I said. I don't like Chase Hall because he doesn't have it for his points. He's overcosted, and you only choose the same 2 things. You're never going to choose Cosmic Henry. Why would you do that? You have Beetlejuice.
Dude, that's like a question
That's
that everyone
irrelevant.
can answer.
You're
Why
never
would I
going to,
always choose Invincible with my outwit? Why? Oh, well, maybe I need to choose their movement power so they can't charge me because I'm a range character. I don't know, Miguel. Maybe because I'm not going to pick the same thing every time in circumstantial things.
No, but the way you said it is you ought to always choose those 2.
I'm saying 9 out of 10 times you're picking the take a max from 2 damage and make a close attack. I didn't say you're picking Power Cosmic. I said you could pick Power Cosmic. It's just a nice thing to have there. He also can't have this ability outwit because it's an ability.
Yeah. I still think Chase Hawk is the worst Chase. That's my opinion. I think Absorbing Man does have playability for his points.
Yeah, well, I'm just a little confused, Maverick, too, about when you're saying like nobody is going to attack Absorbing Man. I just don't. What did you mean by that?
Like, I just don't see the fact he doesn't really do a lot of damage. Like, every single version of him does about, like, the same, and it just really doesn't seem impactful enough to be like, whoa, I
Well,
really need to hit this guy and get him off my back, compared to, like,
I mean, do you not think that the diamond version does enough damage? I mean,
he's got
I
to
feel like
pick something up, first of all, so you have the chance of getting mimicked.
he doesn't have to
Otherwise,
pick
you're doing
anything.
3 damage with no exploit.
see, this
What do
is
you?
the thing.
Whoa, hold on. What are you talking about? You're not looking at the right one, Maverick. I'm talking about the Diamond Absorbing Man.
Oh shit, I was looking at Titanium. Hold on, where's Diamond?
He has giant reach too, but he has blades. But the minimum result of his blades is the target's printed damage value. So if you're hitting somebody that has 5 damage, that's your blades. That's minimum is 5. And the way that you get the diamond out is you just have to be hit by any source of penetrating damage, which is virtually any attack. So I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like if you start with the Uru and then say, basically I take 1 damage from all attacks, and then after I get hit 3 or 4 times, I'm gonna switch out into the regular version of him. I'm gonna heal 3 clicks automatically, and then the next time I get hit, I can say even if I don't get next time I get hit, I can I can heal 3 clicks, and then I can walk through water, and then turn into the water one, and then you know what I mean. Like I don't know. I just feel like there's I feel like there's enough there where again I just think if you're looking at it it by himself just as the chase version of him, yeah, he doesn't do enough by himself. But it's the fact that I think you're going to play at least 3 other Absorbamans on the sideline. So
So much sideline space, man. It's just hard to see it. To see all that sideline space, and he's 75 points. It's 75 points for very, like, I'm not going to say guaranteed, but off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure, I can't think of a character right now, but for 75 points, there's characters I believe that are for just less, that kind of just are really hard to kill, or they do it and they do a lot of damage. It's just, he's just not 75 points worth of shiz. If you could play all these and they're out of the game, if they were like swords, where you get to pick the one at the beginning of the game, like the chases from the Doom Chaser. You get to pick the one at the beginning of the game, and then they get some added text where it's like, when this character's hit, turn them into this, but it's not from your sideline. It's from outside of this game. I think it would have been a great character. But since it takes up sideline slots, I think he just fails to... what's the word I'm looking for? He fails to perform in the long game.
Yeah, so I'm trying to put this into context. So keep in mind that when we're talking about worst chases here, none of these chases that we're picking, or that you guys are picking, are going to be competitive, right? That just goes without saying. These are the worst chases. You are not going to consider any of these for your actual high-level competitive team. So in that context, it's like, okay, so competitive's kind of out the window. But so now outside of competitive, then still, what's the worst chase?
Outside of competitive?
I'm struggling to see, because of Absorberman's flexibility, how he's the worst.
Yeah, I don't think Absorbman is the worst chase. It's just he's got flexibility, like Matt said. Unfortunately, right?
Because it's like, whatever you need him to be,
that's always good.
But he has zero support to him. Almost his entire thing is hard to hit and deal some damage. That's all he does. There's all this sideline space to not do any supporting stuff, to just be your own little tank. I just don't see it.
I just
I know everyone's gonna be. It's a Team Miguel here. I understand. It's just, personally, I don't see 75 points for zero support, and all you're doing is keeping this one 75-point guy alive. And at that point, there's just better stuff to do, on your team. There's just better stuff. There's just better stuff. There's more that you could get so much, like, support for 75 points. You could get 2 or 1 really good or 2 good attackers for 75 points right now. 75 points for one guy that's just somewhat annoying to KO. I'll admit, he's somewhat annoying to KO.
I'm not talking about
does a little damage.
Yeah, we're not. But I'm saying we're not talking about competitive. I understand in competitive you can get 2 or 3 characters that do more than what he can, because we're just we're talking about, you can build a Prodegaton, and a Kevin and a Reverse Flash or whatever. Yeah, we get it, but
so we're talking silver then, because there's only really
just saying like worse, like when I'm saying worse, it's like worse at all. Like you're like, oh, like you would rather play any other chase in any format. Doesn't matter.
I'd play Baron Zemo than him.
No, you wouldn't.
That's the best. I've already played Baron Zemo, baby. You can't even tell me I wouldn't. I've already played him twice.
You never played Absorbman. Oh, hold up. You never played Absorbman. So how are you going to say that?
So then that proves my point. I've never played it. So there's a chase that I play over him.
But you can't even make that argument. You didn't even try him.
then I'd have to play it to try it, wouldn't I?
It's the same thing. My argument, right? I can't. Granted, right? I could say, hey, my opinion of Chase Hulk is the worst one, right? I haven't tried it. My opinion could change, but looking at paper, right? I don't think he does enough for his points. I think, like in my opinion, right? I think Juggernaut is a little bit better, just a little bit. But that's all I'm saying.
So
Well,
I
kind of want. I'm gonna
well,
say something, and people might get a little mad, but I'm changing my pick. There's a chase that I play that I would.
No.
There's a chase in this set that I didn't even look at fully. I thought he was good at first, but now I re-looked at him. I gotta say, he honestly, I still wouldn't play Exorbitant. I'm still saying that, but this guy, I would play even less than Exorbitant. Like, if I pulled this guy, I'd either try to sell him right away. I wouldn't even want him on my shelf. At least Exorbitant looks cool. But I think Chase Thor is a steaming pile of trash. I didn't even read his card, but his effect. I thought his effect happened at the end of your turn. It happens at the beginning. That is so bad.
I don't think in today because Destroyer exists, I have a hard time
Believing any Asgardian is a bad piece.
yeah, it's like if you have the Asgardian keyword and you can get Destroyer for free, I'm like you know what I mean? Like imagine look at his defense, imagine all of it is +2, right? Like is he bad then? You're like,
A 19 maybe
I don't
pushes 20 with a perplex.
you know, I don't think he's bad then. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is he? Is he competitive? Still probably not. But is he bad? I don't think so. I don't
I
know.
don't know, bro.
And
He's a plain dial. He's a vanilla. He's literally a vanilla dial.
yeah, but he
Give
gives everybody improved targeting. He gives everybody improved targeting. So that's worthwhile.
If you, it's hard to say since I was told that
Maverick.
there's no range attacks in the game
Maverick.
right now.
So you want to change your opinion again? You might
No,
have to name the whole list at this point, bro.
you know what? I'm putting him into a double tier. It is a 2-man F tier Exorbitant Thor. They are right on top of each other, hog dogging right there. All right.
Well, give it about 10 minutes. You're probably going to add another one.
Yeah, let's add Tony Stark.
Oh, I know you would have.
No, I actually like Tony for giving scientist reduced. If I'm correct, it's reduced damage by 1 in addition to any other effect. That also means you naturally reduce 1 pen damage. Correct? I am reading that right.
Well, I was looking at it like you reduce poison.
Yeah, but I mean, reducing penetrating damage means you reduce Juggernaut coming through the wall, the super rare from Collector's Trove specifically, where he destroys a blocking turn and then does a free 1 pen damage because he destroyed blocking turn.
Where does it say reduce penetrating damage?
It just says
But
reduce
does it
damage,
reduce
bro.
damage in addition to other effects?
No,
Mean that
so like
it would also reduce pen damage?
penetrating.
No, in addition to other effects, so that refers to currently, for example, if you have a character, say like we were just talking about that Chase Thor, right? He's got, either like impervious or invincible, depending on whatever click you start him on. And let's say you give him Destroyer and he also gets invulnerability. You have to pick one of those reducers. You can't use both reducers. This is saying that he basically, it's like saying he has toughness, or all Stark Industries, people have toughness, and they can use it with another reducer that they already have.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it
So,
was like reduce all damage by 1, except for obviously like unblockable. But
well, right.
okay,
Well, it
that
tells you
makes
like
more
so
sense.
if you if a Stark Industries if a friendly Stark Industries character doesn't have a reducer, they still reduce damage by 1. Yeah, they still do that.
Yeah, but it's not penetrate. I thought it would also include penetrating, but I guess it has to say.
No, but Miguel is correct in the sense that it's like, yeah, if you poison him, it's like, nope, doesn't work, because I reduce damage by 1. And then same thing, like, knockback damage doesn't affect him as well. So it works
Yeah,
that
that was
way.
the other thing that was really a plus to it.
Yeah, but if you have if a Stark Industries character or any scientist has invincible, that's where it really shines because now you reduce damage by 3 and you also reduce penetrating damage. That's the strongest effect there.
Yeah. And I mean, I think the part that I liked with him was the fact that he makes scientists become Stark Industries, which the only character that I really think is good from Stark Industries is the War Machine at 30 points because it's the global perplex and prob, which I thought that was a nice.
So, all right. So now that we answered the question for that. So Maverick says Absorbing Man, and then I said Chase Hawk. Well, what's the next question, Matt?
Oh, we'll just say Absorb Man or Chase Hawk or
It's Absorbing Man and Thor or Chase Hawk.
Or Chase Hawk. So yeah, you can put your answer in the comments what team you're on for that question. But my personal answer is Captain Marvel. I don't like her.
What the fuck, bro?
I don't.
Now we gotta go
That
back to this topic.
that was my other pick too. I was thinking Captain Marvel. Granted, she's got stop clicks, but I don't think she does enough too.
I think her stop clicks are so much of a gimmick in the sense it's like, she removes from the board and then comes back and does stuff, but it's like she's not attacking, she's not attacking multiple times a turn unless you start her at full dial or low dial. And then
I don't like that either.
At low dial, she just dies in 1 hit, and then at full dial, she's 175 points. And then just like trick arrows just blow her up. You know what I mean? Like she's either too many points or she dies in 1 hit. So then her sweet spot, you're like, oh, well, I'll just play her at 100 points so that she'll get a stop click. She doesn't have her cool speed power, so she doesn't attack multiple times a turn. And then so I don't think she's worth it for that either. So I don't know. That's my pick. So
that was the other pick I had.
And I don't like her because you can't equip her because when she gets to a stop click, she leaves the map and then she unequips herself. So, you would like to give her, like the universal weapon for free because she's a Kree, but she gets hit 1 time and then she drops it because either she's dead or she gets removed from the map. So, yeah. So I don't know. I don't like her. I think she's the worst.
Player, bro. I don't know about that one. Like, I genuinely thought about playing her at 60. She gets 2 attacks off. At 12 attack with 4 damage, and then the second attack is a super strength, so it's a 12 attack 5 damage. I don't know. I think that's better.
It's good, but I think she's. That's it. I think if she gets those attacks off, if he still even worth 60 points, even if he makes those 2 attacks.
Yeah,
I don't know.
still look at her at 60, and I'm like, it's not bad. I don't know. I get your point where it's like she just dies.
Yeah, I think because you pay 20 points more, and you're using Collector's Trove Juggernaut, who's got better stats overall, reduced penetrating damage. Can't be like he's just miles better than she is for 80. Even with 20 points more, I don't see her being used in I don't see her being used well and having good results at any level, even in casual. So that's my personal answer. So we can move on to the next topic here. All right, our next topic. This is going to be a little bit more tricky to look up, but I think you can still use the advanced search features in HC units to, let's see, using special power or trait. So in special power or trait, let's see if this works here. If you type in, where does it come on? There we go. No, it doesn't. Where is this here? Oh, I'm not spelling this correctly. Here we go. There we go. Yeah. So if you type in expendable goon in the special trait, and then that will pull up all of the goons that we've gotten. I want to know what you guys think is the best goon.
Oh, that's easy. I already got it.
Oh, he's already got it.
He's gonna say the
No, not even like a question on that. I mean,
he's gonna say the Pulse Wave one, like a scrub. Only a scrub would say that shit.
yeah, Accordion Thunder. That's it.
It's a good pick. Let me look. Can't believe I'm fucking looking this up, dude.
So, I'm just thinking, if are you saying Accordion Thunder? Because if
No, I'm not saying Accordion Thunder. I have a range for the pick. It's one specific one, but it turns into like three of them. So let me, when Miguel picks his, I'll get into that.
I'm just trying to see. I'm just looking through them. Hold up. I'm gonna say some bullshit ass Parademon. I'm just trying to figure out which one was it. I think it was this one. What the fuck is it? God damn it. I think it was this one. Okay, I got my pick.
I forgot who said their pick first last time. Was it me? Who said first last time?
It was me.
It was you that said the Zorgman last time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was the first one.
Yeah, so it's Miguel's time.
Yeah, okay. So Miguel, you go first this time. I don't know. Maybe Miguel went first last time. Who knows?
All right. Well, so the pick that I think one of the best goons, I would say White Rabbit Goon. And the only argument I would say is because support.
So support makes it the best goon.
What the fuck? All right.
He's like, I gotta switch mine.
No. Support does not make it a best goon. Anyways.
What are you gonna tell me, Spider-Bot?
No, goon. Literally, just goon. Goon is the best goon.
Which goon? The old one or the new one?
They both got the same ability, right?
Well, the
Where they both come back on the one on.
Yeah, they both come back on a 3 through 6, but the DC goon is the one that's plasticity, poison, willpower, and empower. And then the Marvel one is it's charge, willpower, close combat expert. He also has wild card, team ability, or I should just say team player. But he also has a trait that says anytime any friendly character uses leadership and succeeds, then after resolutions you can move goon 1 square. But they both on a roll of 3 through 6 generate another character with the expendable goon trait. So which one are you talking about? The Marvel or the DC one?
You gave him a fucking
Let me check. I forgot there was two that did it. It's literally, to be honest, it's just the trait that's so good. But I want to say it's the Empower one.
Oh my god. Alright.
The DC one, because it's Spider-Verse is the other one, correct?
Correct. That's the Marvel one.
Yeah, the Spider-Verse one just doesn't do anything really. It's just not as beneficial as poison and power. So it's the DC goon, like I thought at first. I forgot.
So wait, you're choosing the DC goon for empower?
No, I'm choosing it for the trait, since it increases it to a 3 through 6 instead of a 4 through 6. Because to be honest with you, most games, either your goon is doing jack, like for most times, if you just pick a random goon, like, you know, if you want that White Rabbit goon that has support, cool. It just dies, and it has a 50-50 shot to come back. Or you have goon that just dies, that has a 66% chance to come back. And when it comes back, you could then pick, for example, Cordian Thunder Pulse Wave. You could pick Parademon, where you have blades. You could trigger an Ares Bomb through that. Or you could pick the White Rabbit, which then you have support. That's what I said. Mine turned into like 3 more picks after because of the trait. I think the trait is what makes it superb to the others. Plus, your opponent's going to want to kill it because it potentially locks a piece up. You could set it next to their support piece that has no reducer, poison. It's annoying. It's also got Empower, so carry it around with a main attacker or whatever, and now you're doing damage, and it just kind of sits there. So your opponent either has to deal with it, or it's going to annoy them, or it just annoys the shit out of your opponent. So I think it's a win-win over any of the goons.
You just basically said that when it dies, it goes to a different goon. That's like every other fucking goon.
The question is, what is the best goon? And that's the best goon because it has the ability or the highest chance.
That every other goon does. They replace into a different character.
No, but it has a higher chance at replacing. You're saying just it replaces, and yeah, they all do, but it's all off of chance.
You literally just said that when it dies, it replaces into multiple characters.
Yes, but this one has the highest chance out of all, Miguel. It has the highest chance out of all the goons, except for the Marvel goon.
And then your argument was it has Empower.
And plasticity and poison. It's annoying as shit. And it can become any goon when it dies, which means in any moment you could pick the best goon for the moment.
I don't know. That is just like super fucking vague. You basically read off what the goon trait is.
Yeah. That's the point of the... Okay, that is the point of the basic goon. It does what it does.
Because, like I said, we'll leave it up to Matt at that point. That was... Alright.
Alright, Matt, what is the best goon to you?
Oh, no, I want to hear a little bit more from Miguel on what's going on with White Rabbit.
Oh, why I chose White Rabbit? I really just chose it for support and the mind control aspect. I think that has more utility. Also, you could also play it with like Poison Ivy or Harley Quinn or whatever, so you'll have like a 12 attack. So a 12 attack double mind control isn't bad, but there's not many characters with cheap support in modern age that I could think of. So I thought that for 15 points, that ain't bad. That was my argument.
Do you disagree with him, Maverick?
He's gonna say yeah. Of course,
that it's the best goon. Fuck yes. If I wanted mind control, I'm gonna pick the Mysterio goon. But even at that point, I'm still picking the goddamn goon because the goon is the best gooner. First of all, so that's the biggest reason.
And Maverick's argument, the goon goes into multiple goons. That
it has a nice chance to become the goon in the best situation for the goon.
Yeah. So,
every goon is situationally the best goon. But who gets those goons into the situations? Goon. Goon gets them there. Not White Rabbit. Goon.
Bro, I think you're like on crack or something, bro, because like I just can't. You basically read off the trait. That's what you just did.
Oh my god, bro. I think you're on crack because you can't understand that the trait is different from the other traits.
I'm moving along on this one, Matt. Who do you think is the best?
All right, Matt. Okay, yeah, Matt, be the decider here. What is the best?
No.
What is Matt's best goon opinion? What is Matt's opinion on the best goon?
Holy crap! Jesus Christ, man! It's like I'm arguing with like a 2-year-old.
So I think after playing with a few of them, I really like and so the answer I'm going to give is when I say best goon, I'm talking about the goon that actually you start with on your team, and not the one that you might eventually swap into. And I really like both the tracksuit, the common tracksuit,
Yeah, that was the
and
one I was gonna say.
um,
That one's really good.
yeah, I like common tracksuit, and I also like I mean, I'm kind of 50-50. It's either the goons, either one. I think they both are fine to start with. Similar to what Maverick said, because they just they're okay targets. But I'm leaning towards the DC goon just because of plasticity. But the other one that I that also really like starting with is the inner demon, because I I mean, for 15 points, having 20 defense up close and a rollout is wild. And
That is true.
the reason why I also say inner demon and tracksuit is because even though they don't, no, you want to get the effect that generates another goon, right? But in the event that you don't and you fail, it's like if you fail goon, nothing happens. They don't have an effect that if you get a one or a two. But if you fail inner demon, everybody on your team gets shape change, which is that's huge. It's like again for 15 points, like so not only does your opponent have to get through a rollout, and then if they're punching him, has to get through a 20 defense, but then even if you fail, it's like, oh, now everybody else in your team has shape change, which basically means like you can't you know KOing inner demon in one of the first actions of the turn is not the right play because you might be accidentally giving everybody else on your opponent's team shape change for the rest of that turn, and then you might not be able to hit because of that. So, and then similarly to tracksuit, tracksuit I think is stands out because he's got well he still has empower, which is huge. I mean empower is like just probably one of the best uh, uh, yeah, it's probably one of the best things on the PAC that you would want a goon to have. It just basically says, make everybody else in your team hit harder. Um, but he also has a rollout, which is super sense, and what's really critical is sidestep, because sidestep plus the underworld team ability, and it's like you're gonna have somebody else on your team that has the brute keyword, which is not hard to find. They've printed a lot of those recently. Um, but sidestep, basically, like sidestep carry is a huge thing. Like that's very strong. Like for positioning wise and everything, you can moving somebody up and then having them do something and then sidestepping them away. That's it's just a strong strategy. And that, again, similarly to Inner Demon, where even if you fail the the roll to generate another goon after it's KO'd, his other effect is still really good, which is just pick any friendly character on the map, square, even if it's not your turn. So what that could mean is like, oh, if your opponent KOs that tracksuit first, you might be able to move whatever character they wanted to hit next. Maybe moving them one square back is enough to make them, not be in range anymore. And again, you might prevent somebody from just being attacked for the rest of the turn. So I think that's really strong. So again, I think just both of us because they both have a rollout, which, like I said, I really like the DC Goon, but he just dies in one hit all the time. Which sometimes it's useful for bringing him out after the first Goon dies to be like, oh well, now you got to deal with a poison and a plasticity, so haha. But I don't necessarily like having them out first because I rather have a goon that has a rollout because it just makes them so much harder to KO. And again, the goons that even if you fail their roll, they still have really good effects. Giving everybody on the team shape change is wildly strong. Inner Demon is insane for that, and like I said, and he's just the toughest to KO outside of everything else because his defense is the highest and he has a rollout. And even leap climb is good just for carrying people because he has more keywords than others. I don't know what else. Oh, and he's got blades too. Yeah, so he's you can't ignore him if he's standing right next to you. Where like even though the other goon has like plasticity and stuff, you could ignore that goon. For example, if you were like just not afraid of his damage. So, but you can't ignore Inner Demon because you could just blaze and roll a 6, and then suddenly you're dead. So that was my whole rant. I think the best.
I mean, can't argue with that. I mean, rollouts. I mean,
very solid arguments. Can't really, like
I
Maverick.
didn't support.
Whatever you want to say, bro. Like I said, I think support is good.
Yeah, because I think like White Rabbit is one of the best goons for after one of your first, like for a replacement. For the next one that gets generated. Because at that point you're like, oh, somebody else probably already has damage taken, and then White Rabbit Goon is amazing. But I don't think White Rabbit Goon is the best to start on the map because I don't think it really does much of anything.
I like how Matt just keeps adding speculations to this, and then we end up being wrong. Might as well be like,
I don't care. He said the goon is good in his speech.
Yeah, no, if I was picking,
Demon.
if I was picking between both of your choices, I would lean Goon. I wouldn't. I would say the White Rabbit Goon would not be something in my top picks. Like I said, I just prefer it's like having a rollout. Sidestep carry is huge. Just having good defense and extreme damage potential is huge, and also good effects for even if you fail the goon roll.
Yeah. So, guess next question then. Yeah. Or I guess Team Miguel or Team Maverick.
Yeah.
Team Maverick is goon, DC specific. Team Miguel is White Rabbit Goon.
Yeah.
You cut out Matt like completely. Can't hear you.
What?
You're like robot. Is it the same for you, Miguel?
Let me drop out again.
Yeah, Matt's glitched, bro. He got paid McDonald's Wi-Fi.
His Wi-Fi saying it's bedtime now.
Yeah, he said, Matt, you're up too much. You gotta go to sleep.
All right. Better now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah, bro. You gotta get some. Oh no, you gotta pay the Ronald, bro.
No, I'm not. Again, this is just my phone, man. I'm not using. Yeah, I'm not even using Wi-Fi. It's just my phone. Let's see. Oh yeah. So the next one is this. I don't know. This might be too broad of a thing, or it might just be maybe even too easy to. So you might agree on this. Is what I'm saying. I don't know.
Shit.
But we're only for this question. The context is only competitive 300 modern age. Okay. So for theme teams specifically, so including Smash and Destroy. All right. So with Smash and Destroy being legal, what is the best keyword for theme teams? If you had to play a theme team, what's the strongest keyword for 300 modern age?
Well, that's easy. I got my pick. Well, Maverick already knows what I'm going to say.
Debate between two of them. Honestly, I don't know if it's one or the other.
Like I said, I got my pick, but I know Maverick.
Well, yeah, so we'll let Maverick. Maverick will say first because you said first last time, Miguel. So Maverick will go first this time.
I didn't say first.
I want to just put it flat as ruler, but I also feel monsters push that a little bit. But I'm gonna stick with ruler being my pick.
All right, ruler. So what are the ruler figures that are auto include for that theme team for you?
Black Panther, Chair Panther Legacy specifically. That's one. Let me go bring up all the rulers so I could name them.
Bro, like you're picking. Now you're gonna cherry pick. You already know which ones they are.
Cherry pick? Yeah.
You're gonna take Kong. You're gonna take Colossus Prime.
Motherfucker, you get spot on ruler. Which when I found that out like 3 weeks ago, I was like, why is that on there? All right, so he's ruler. You got Doctor Doom Chase from Collector's Trove. That's a good pick for ruler. Prime Black Panther. You know, people say he's good. I think he's okay. I'm not a huge fan of him, but he's up there. Hadar Yao is great. You got Prime Swamp Thing on ruler, for what it's worth. You got Diana. Diana's insane for ruler. See, put out there Starro. That's another worth mention. Probably biggest pick that probably goes on the team is Prime Colossus. That's a great piece for ruler. You got Baron Zemo. I know he gets his hate.
Rad.
So I mean, just some of those. I mean, you got Ghost Rider. I mean, Matt's proven how he's one of the best pieces ever made. You get Jennifer Kale.
And Maverick, how did he prove that?
He went to Adepticon and performed very well with it. And also has shown in league events that Ghost Rider does do well consistently. So that's just to put out there. Jennifer Kale's good, which if I'm correct, man things get her keywords. So that means all man things in the game also are ruler, just to put out there. Daredevil Legacy, ruler, still performs well. He's seen a decline, but so there. Prime Camo, ruler. I mean, that alone, you get Kong as well as ruler. There's plenty of rulers to build a team around specifically. Plenty of them. So that's me. That's just me.
Oh wait.
All right, I'm surprised you didn't mention Butterfly because that basically brings in almost every single other character you'd want to bring in.
Yep.
I was looking through the list because I didn't get I have it not on like modern specific right now because I'm in the browse category. So it wouldn't come up with all the iconics because they're technically like past the retired sets, if you know what I mean. Like they're under Avengers 60 and everything.
Okay. Well, Miguel, do you agree? Is ruler the best keyword if you have to build a theme team for 300 modern competitive, or are you going a different direction?
So, and unfortunately, right, ruler has better figures, but right, in the event that you can't afford specific figures in ruler, I think pass is a little bit affordable.
But we're not talking affordability. We're just talking modern age, like Matt said. So what is the best?
I already told you. I literally said ruler, right, is the best one, and then that's why I threw in if it was affordability, right, then I would say pass. But
Ruler is the best one if you're going to build off. It has the better stuff. It has the stuff that you would definitely want to play. You already mentioned it, so I'm not going to mention the characters because you already mentioned it. So I would say Ruler. I don't think anything else comes close. I mean, like I said, the other ones like that comes to mind is like Warrior, right? Because Warrior do get access to Fair Panther, and it has a little bit more flexibility. Pass also has a little bit of flexibility as well. I just it's hard because like I like Pass only because you have access to the Captain America that makes them Avengers, but then it's like we're not going based on keyword cheating. So like I said, if it's hard. I mean, it's hard for me to really say. Ruler's got a lot of good modern staples. Warriors got some good staples, and then Pass has some good staples. So, but if I had to choose, I think I choose Ruler. We have other options, but
Well, no, I mean, I see what you're saying too about with that the team up for Captain America, where characters with the past keyword gain the Avengers keyword. But I
I
still,
didn't know.
I mean, going through
I
that, I
still,
mean, does that make Avengers then?
yeah,
Because
I think that's what I'm saying. I think right, Pass is very strong because you do have a lot of low costed characters, right? And it does give you the flexibility. That's the big thing. Having, Captain America for 25 points, making Avengers Pass is very strong. Because then it gives you access to, I think, Miles Morales at 25 points is Avengers. I'm not 100% sure. But if he is, right, that's another prob, whatever. And given Super Senses TA, the other thing that comes into mind, like Captain Universe, even though we're not seeing him being used right now. But I just like, if I had to really, really choose, right, I think I would choose Pass. Pass has a lot, like I said, I think Pass has a lot of more flexibility, and you have access to Captain America Pegasus.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is for the 25 points for the Captain America from the for the 400 set, the what is it,
Yeah,
the Kooky Ted or whatever.
yeah,
Are you playing him on a pass team for competitive? Do you think he's worth playing
yes.
to pull in
I
other?
think yes, I think he's worth 25 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly think he's the best. I mean, 25 point perplex. I think he's got a 20 defense. I don't know if it's combat reflexes, 18 combat reflex. I think it's 20, or it might be SD. It's one of the two, or maybe I'm wrong.
I think he's got toughness.
I think
Yeah,
it's
he's got.
toughness. Yeah, I think it's toughness. That's what it is. And maybe he has traded ESD. I don't know, but
No, he doesn't.
well, so
Unfortunately,
25 points gives you a perplex, leadership, the keyword cheat, and then you had, I think, that range attack or whatever.
no,
So
he doesn't have the range attack, but he's got what he does is he gives everybody that has the pass keyword, which which again, if you're keyword cheating is pretty much the rest of your team. He gives them all the Avengers team ability. So he kind of, sort of gives them all +1 attack in a way.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I prefer that.
And I do want to say it's also important to note that he gives the duration for the Avengers keyword is this game. So even if they KO him, the rest of your
Oh,
team
has it?
keeps the Avengers team ability. Yes.
Yeah, that was the other thing too. I was going to say. I forgot about that, but to mention that. But that's what I would say. I'd say pass is a very strong keyword. Uh, yeah, that would be my pick. Like I said, there's no really like Maverick didn't give a wrong answer, right? Like it's a popular keyword. I mean, there's really, like I said, in my opinion, there's only three that I would consider playing. Well, actually, it'd be four, technically, because you do have scientists, do have a little bit of things there and there. But the top three for me would be Ruler, Pass, Warrior. But narrowing down, I'd say Pass is my number one.
All right, so we'll have everybody decide. Are you Team Ruler on Maverick, or are you
They're gonna
Team?
say Maverick.
No, I think there's some that will say past.
Don't try to defend me, bro.
It's a good like thing between the two. I mean, like realistically, between the two, there's not a wrong answer. I mean, the only argument is past could get Beetlejuiced, while Ruler can't because they got the Legacy Panther. That's really the only like argument between the two per se.
Uh-huh.
All right. I don't know. Do you guys got time for one more? I don't know. What do you think?
I got like infinite time.
Infinite time. Well, what about you, Miguel? You got time for another one or what?
Yeah, I got time. I know Maverick doesn't work anyway, so he's got a part-time job at the Krusty Krab.
Calling him out. So
I got work at 3 p.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I said. You got a part-time job at the Krusty Krab, bro. It's okay.
Dude, if I could work at the Krusty Krab, I'd quit right now. Honestly, that sounds fire as fuck, bro.
Yeah, they fire you before you get to quit.
Oh man. All right. So next topic is about it's about the Ultra Chase Collector. So we've seen Ultra Chase Collector do very well across multiple events. Like I said, as we know, including winning Adepticon. But we've seen him do well with a variety of different equipment. So Ultra Chase Collector can be given 3 equipment for free as long as their total cost is 30 points or less. Initially, we saw his rise with more of a shape change esque build. Then we saw a couple more builds of him doing well that were more offensive with things like trick arrows and such. And then, of course, we saw the rise of the defense stat, the +3 defense, or the 22 defense. Ultra Chase Collector do extraordinarily well. So, with that being said, what if you guys had to play Ultra Chase Collector? What are the 3 equipment that you're giving them?
I think we already discussed this, bro.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's obvious. You just play Logan's build, switch out the motorcycle with Destroyer. I mean, if you're playing any of the other ones, you're kind of just wrong because I mean they really haven't won any tournaments. The only one that has is Logan's, so that's my argument. Logan's won it with that one, so why would I play the other ones?
Well, I would just bring up the fact that because Destroyer is going to be on virtually every competitive team, and since we're at the stage now where if you're bringing a team to a competitive event and and your team is unable to deal with an opposing Destroyer equipment, so if that +2 defense or effectively a +3 defense on whoever they want, if you're not able to deal with that and you just lose the game because of that, you're going to be losing to virtually every single team. So, in my opinion, I think you have to build something on your team that is able to deal with characters having a +2 or +3 defense. So, knowing that, are you still comfortable building a +3 defense collector team? Going into what could potentially be a lot of Jennifer Kales, a lot of Merns, a lot of, just things that don't care about your stat modifier.
So the way I would run it, right? And it's kind of like you're not seeing much pulse wave, right? But there's 2 ways you could go about it, I guess. But if I had, for sure access in this direction, right? Access to the Pog, right? The Chitauri Pog. I would play the Destroyer equipment, the Flute, and then the broadsword construct. Having the 50-50 shape change with the +3 defense. Granted, the +3 might not take an effect running into Jennifer Kale or Mern, but at least you have a 50-50 the shape change. The other route you could do is, instead of the flute, you could do the Bucky's arm, right? So Bucky's arm gives you the rollout only on a 6. So there's 2 ways you could go about it, but I think I'd rather go with the 50-50 shape change. Assuming, right, if it's the same build like Logan, right, you're playing the Chair Panther Timebreaker Kevin, then you probably do it that way. The only thing with that build is, right, since you lose the free move one, you lose the making the range or the power action make a range attack, to collect someone, right? I don't know if it says the range because I haven't played that character at all, but
I believe it's just attack.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, right? I would that would be the build that I would run. I'd run the 50-50 shape change with the +3 defense. That's what I would run. I don't know what you would run, Maverick.
Well, before Maverick chimes in, I just want to say, so you would still be comfortable with that, knowing so Maverick just went over the fact that that ruler is the strongest keyword, and did mention things like Colossus Prime and Jennifer Kale. If those things both exist and they can be used together in really strong theme teams, are you worried that a collector, even with +3 defense and shape change, can just get hit by Colossus because of Jennifer Kale?
Not really. After seeing how against an IC region against Rick, right? Rick against that one guy playing the collector. You have the Kevin. Kevin out just supports the collector, and that pretty much doesn't. You're back at a stalemate until collector collects Colossus.
But wouldn't I mean? I mean, of course, over the course of the game, but I'm thinking that Colossus mind controls Collector and then uses Collector to attack Kevin. You know what I mean? Wouldn't it work out that way?
I mean, yeah.
It just depends on your. It depends really. I guess it really depends on you.
There's no. Imagine it's Collector versus the Colossus team. Everything else is pretty much gonna die because you're just gonna kill. You're gonna mind control Collector and kill everything else in like one turn, and then it just comes down to how many turns does it take to kill. What's it called? Collector. But then it also comes down to the fact, well, Kale's gonna die at the end of the day. You're not gonna be able to keep Kale alive from keep her from Collector. It's not gonna be super easy, because you could just collect her with one action, with one collection token, unless you play her at 35 points.
Well, Kale can change the hit target to Man Thing, so.
Even through a collection? Because if you're collecting, wouldn't he just collect Man Thing then? So then Kale would.
Well, but Man Thing.
So how does that work? So how does that work when, if say for example, Man Thing didn't have any collection tokens?
Then nothing would happen.
How would nothing happen if you're telling me you can't collect that? That sounds really stupid.
You just said
Man Thing's 55 points, so you just collect them twice, and then collect Kale the third time. So 3 rounds. It essentially is a 3-round game for that long, which is the exact same amount of time it takes them to kill Kevin. So then in that case, it kind of just all rounds out to where,
So you don't think
won't be able to hit Collector anymore.
in 3 turns, if Collector takes effectively 15 damage.
But he has Kevin healing for those rounds.
Yeah, but we're assuming that Collector hits Kevin with the mind control.
Oh, it doesn't he come back at the beginning of or at the end of your turn, right? It's end. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's end. Yeah, so he wouldn't be able to heal.
I mean, that would just really come down to, I don't know. Then I guess the point is, does Kale Man-Thing? Because I guess Kale and Man-Thing would be the best option over Mern, because you'd have to do 3 collection tokens. Because Mern, you'd have to do 2 collection tokens. I don't even want to get into that, but I mean, just the fact that you're playing Mern, Kale, Kale, Man-Thing, and Colossus Prime on one team to kill Collector, then you have to build the rest of that team. So what is and also to keep on top of that, you could also collect Colossus. I mean, it would take 3 turns, once again.
That's tough, because now you got to roll 10s or 11s to hit. So it's not a very good use of Collector's.
Hey man, if I got one shot and there's no probs on me, if I get into that position, I think you're taking that one shot with a prob from yourself to hit a 10. I think that's really the case. Because that could mean the game or not the game.
Because like I said, at best, if Collector has no damage on him, and this is the thing, this is Collector trying to collect Colossus, and like you said, after 3 turns. So we're assuming for 3 turns, Colossus missed Collector every single turn, which is unlikely, because just at a baseline, he would need a 7 or better to hit. But assuming Colossus missed every single time, Collector it'd be a 12 on a minimum of 22. I'm assuming that Colossus is going to have Destroyer, because that's just, why would you not give somebody that has a printed 20 defense 2 more defense? And it also, it just makes Colossus so much more consistent, because better willpower, gets the improved movement, can carry anybody. He can now carry the Jennifer Kale, so that way, every time he hits, Collector can't, increases combat values and stuff like that. So yeah, like I said, at best it's a 12 on a 22 for Collector. That, again, that's assuming that Colossus missed him 3 times. If Colossus hits him only once, let's see. Well, that would put him to a stop click, which would basically require Collector to get rid of one of his equipment to heal, and then you would score it, I think, right? You score it when you do that?
Would it back to a quick thing? Wouldn't it take technically more than 3 turns? I mean, saying specifically Logan's build, right? On probable average, I don't think that the Chair Panthers picking Beetlejuice off of Logan's team, because they're thinking that the Beetlejuice really hinders Collector, and Logan's probably never going to bring it out. But in the case that is the case, where they don't pick Beetlejuice, if Logan was to bring out, or that team was to bring out Beetlejuice on its first turn, or whatever turn that the opponent would be attacking. So if Logan went, for example, second, on his first turn, if he brings Beetlejuice out after already doing his collection token, then Colossus couldn't mind control him that first turn. Correct? He'd have to hit Collector naturally and do barely any damage, which would then mean Kevin would still be alive to heal Collector. So Collector could potentially get an extra turn because of that.
Right, but we're assuming just how you were saying it. Like, it's going to be a ruler theme team. So Chair Panther is going to be on this team. So if any sideline Beetlejuice will not be able to come out.
They picking Beetlejuice, because if I'm correct, Logan's build also had Fortify on it and some other things. I forget exactly what was his sideline, but I don't think Beetlejuice is really your target per se.
Well, again, if the goal is to stop Colossus from hitting, I mean, it wouldn't change the game that much. Uh, but yeah, it would be a little annoying in the sense that you wouldn't be able to mind control Collector, but you could still punch him. So I mean, he'll take the same amount of damage. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I personally would be confident going in with a defensive Collector build anymore because I feel like every single team is going to have a way to get around um, the crazy high defense stuff.
If that's the case, then Collector don't make the cut because, like I said before, if I'm correct, I can't remember seeing a team that won an event with Collector besides Logan's. If I'm correct, you correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, so for example, like for Collector, if you give Collector trick arrows, then Jennifer Kale teams are not, most Jennifer Kale teams, like you said, Jennifer Kale teams that play are at 30 points instead of 35. I mean, even the ones that play are at 35 could be KO'd like by a trick arrow, um, but so if you're targeting Jennifer Kale with a character with trick arrows, and she wants to say, oh no, actually you're going to hit Man Thing, so Man Thing's going to be placed to Jason, and Man Thing becomes the hit target, and then you go, okay, cool. Well, I'm going to use 2 dangerous, so Jennifer Kale will still take 3 damage. Generally, that would KO her. And then if she's at top dial, then hopefully the knockback KOs her. So, uh, so I feel like a trick arrow, Collector versus Jennifer Kale does win that matchup in the sense that it wins in the sense that you can still play like Destroyer, and then you could play trick arrows, and you could have another 5-point equipment. Um, so instead of going full defensive, you can still get the +2, which might not work right away, but you can say, hey, I have trick arrows, which I can hit a Jennifer Kale, and if I do, even if she switches the target to Man Thing, I still KO her. And then once Jennifer Kale's out the game, then you go, cool, I got +2 defense for the rest of the game, so I'm sitting pretty again.
I think it just still falls into like the same category where I just don't think I just don't with your um with the reasonings you've brought up, I think it's just like I don't think Collector makes the cut anymore. I guess is the way to put it.
Yeah, but it's only one specific team, right? Any other team Collector does phenomenal, right? But assuming how Matt said, if everybody's playing the Destroyer equipment, you still can't assume that everybody's going to play Jennifer Kale and Mern.
Yeah, but you could assume that at least 50% of the field is playing it.
Not really.
You might as well just say I'm gonna run into one at that. Like you can't.
I just don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see where people are playing Jennifer Kale or Mern. I don't see it. Well, I don't know. I mean, it might just say, you know what, with the Destroyer equipment, right? Being a big event, right, or like Origins, right? That would be the well, granted, you get the Fellowship Cup next week, but in a competitive event where all the big dogs, this and that, right, for next week, that probably will determine if the Destroyer equipment is on every team. There might be a case where it isn't.
Well,
But
the only thing I would suggest to you, I would just say, like, just you know, try playing a game, just a scenario game, even against yourself. But just play a game where you have a team that doesn't have any characters that can take away any opposing modifiers. So like I said, no Kale, no Mern, no Chair Odin or Choden, or whatever we're calling him now.
Choden. How the fuck did you guys come up with that gay ass name?
Choden, man, it's Choden. And then when you every time you roll for willpower for him, you got to say Choden like you're saying Kobe, back in the day. But anyway,
that's lame. You're not gonna get me saying that.
It's Choden. Choden's a good name, but
that's not gonna stick.
Right?
I don't know why you have to try and make that work.
It's a good name. So make a team
better.
Make a team with none of those. Right? Don't make a team that can deal with Destroyer, and then play against another good team that just has the Destroyer equipment, and you will quickly see how ridiculously difficult it is to KO that figure. It's not fun. So
yeah,
I think after a single game you'll realize like, oh yeah, I either have to build to deal with it or I have to use it myself or both.
yeah. I don't know.
Well, that usually just means that you're wrong. So.
Wow.
Every team is gonna 50% of the field is gonna have Kale or Murray, and if you don't, you're just wrong, Miguel. So.
All right, so we'll see. So at the Fellowship Cup, you're saying every team is going to have Mern, right?
50% of the teams actually can't have it. To be direct, but
No,
sure.
I'm just saying what you said, right?
Well,
50% of the teams can't have it because of the build restrictions, Miguel.
50% could have Murray, but 50% could have Kale.
Maverick's like, I'm gonna play Star Wars. I gotta be the clone trooper guys.
But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be at least 50% of the field is gonna have that at most events.
Oh, so now we're going back to 50. You said 100% of the field, Maverick.
I'm saying that 50% of teams can't actually play. So that's a bad, like, what do you call it?
Well, they can't play the same version of it, but like I said,
yeah.
you could play Mern and then your partner could play Jennifer Kale. Or you could play Choden, I'm gonna say it. And then your partner could play
That's so lame, bro. That's so lame.
It's not lame. It's a nice name. Choden it's funny. It's a funny name. That's the best part about it.
That's a lame name, bro. I don't know where
You
you guys.
take fun out of stuff. Like, get out of here.
Hold up, bro. You're buzz killing today. I'm not trying to hear that from you.
But
I have to build a team, right? By the time this episode releases, right? People will know that I'm building a team right now, right? Because you took fucking forever to decide on what you want to play.
I told you to build it. Oh, I can't build it because you need to build yours. No,
I literally told you.
Still doesn't build your team. So then it literally you didn't want to build a team. I didn't want to build a team first. So this is where we're at. So
I built 2 teams and I said, look, this is where I'm at. And you're like, I don't know.
I told you, build a team. You didn't want to.
Nah, you're so paranoid with like Beetlejuice. Just say it 3 times, bro. Then you have Chair Panther. Then you have what was it? Collector was the other one you got scared of. I was like, dude, you can't counter everything. You're gonna lose something.
Okay, Miguel.
Matt's over here fucking just dying of laughter.
Exactly, bro.
This is what the people want to hear. This is what they want to hear.
They want fucking 2 people arguing. It's like, how do these 2 become partners in a fellowship cup? Like they have no correlation. They just bicker. All they do is bicker.
All right. Well, I got another topic or question. If you,
how
many fucking questions do you have, bro?
I got plenty of questions.
I got a bunch of them, man. I can and then as you're answering one, I can think of
God.
two. So I can do is
Yeah, he just really wants to get me to argue. Man, I'm more excited that Canelo won the fight, even though the guy ran away majority of the times. You guys,
Yeah,
I
I
don't know if you
heard
saw
on
it.
the Yachty thing, he just ran the entire time, right?
That's all he did was run, dude. I mean,
oh, Canelo's. I mean, he's basically best there is right now. There's,
fucking guy, what the fuck?
All right, so let's jump back. We'll go back into the Smash and Destroy set. So Smash and Destroy has 4 new one-shot cards. Which
Okay.
one is the best?
God damn, I don't know. Hold up.
I could decide on 2 of them.
Let's see. Which one is the best?
Yes,
Let's
for people
see.
listening. So we have one that's called "You Wouldn't Like Me When I'm Angry," and what that does is says when a friendly character takes damage after resolutions, you may choose that until the end of your next turn.
Oh,
They can
bro,
use
the best.
Battle Fury plus
We already
combat.
know the best one, bro. Let's just stop the cap. The best one is Unstoppable.
All right, so Unstoppable. The effect is that says friendly characters can use charge, and when they do, they have improved movement, destroy blocking terrain.
Yeah, I mean, that is probably the best one. I mean, I want to put
What do you guys say?
insurance policy up there as well, but
So, like, I was gonna say, like, for the second best one, but it's just situational, right? Is Heimdall's Sight. I think that's very strong, minimum range of 8. But it also ties with the first one. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Both are very situational. I think the worst one's probably the insurance policy.
yeah, of course you say it. I think insurance policy has potential. Removing 3 action tokens is pretty goddamn nuts.
This is from one friendly character, so and does it specify
2 from the
like,
same one.
yeah, that was the question I was gonna ask. That's not bad then. Never mind. I wouldn't say that's the worst one.
I mean,
So, like,
3 character, you just run through a piece of
So-
blocking.
I guess, like, to go back, right? The best one's got to be Unstoppable, and the other 3 are playable but very situational.
So who do you, if Unstoppable is the best, who, I mean, off of just your kind of first impressions or whatever, who do you think, or what character, I should say, do you plan, or not really plan on using this one shot with, but what do you think, what character is best paired with that one shot? But what character would really benefit from being able to use charge and improved movement, destroy blocking terrain?
I have my pick, and it's an immediate pick. I don't know. You want me to say it, or are you gonna wait for Maverick?
No, I mean, I don't know if this is another topic or not or whatever, but I mean, just
Oh,
since you picked Unstoppable, so it's like,
I'm gonna say Pegasus Cap. That's what I would say. Pegasus Cap, right? Is not a bad pick. Granted, you read it hypersonic, but I'm just saying it's not bad.
I mean, is using your words is not bad. Does that mean it's the best choice? Or
Oh, okay. So hold on. Let
I'm
me.
just saying, like, you know, if
So
it's like,
okay. So the best. I guess if I had to choose, right? Let's see. Who would be the best candidate for that? I would say.
so before you answer, here's an example of what I would think is like, you know, an answer that's kind of getting there, right? It's definitely not the best answer, but it's getting there. So if you look at a character like Quicksand from the same set, so Quicksand has traded Flurry, but other than on some clicks, you know, having sidestep, otherwise doesn't have any move and attack, right? And Quicksand also doesn't destroy blocking when she moved through it. I mean, though she is a giant, but so if she's indoor, she really can't get around very easily. So something like unstoppable for her is really good because charging through walls and then being able to use flurry, that's
So yeah,
really
that's what I was gonna say. Leading up to it, before you gave that choice, right? I was gonna say Chase Weapon X.
Chase Weapon X. Let's see, what is Weapon X got?
He's already got Charged Flurry, but then the other pick I was gonna say was the Major Logan. Major Logan has size of Flurry.
Ooh, I like that. I like the Major Logan pick.
So that
I
was
like that.
yeah, that's one of them. Weapon X. The reason I said Weapon X is he does have leap climb, so he could move through the blocking and then going over elevation and all that stuff. That was the reason behind Weapon X. But I'd say Major Logan's probably the best candidate for it, or one of the best candidates.
Yeah, no, I agree there. I don't know, Maverick. Do you have any ideas for what you would? I know you didn't pick the unstoppable one shot, but
I mean, well, I did. I mean, I just said insurance policy is like up there with it, but I'm not even gonna put it on a label of like one character being the best. I mean, any character running through blocking is, I think, just does it enough. I could care less about giving charge to anyone. The motorcycle could do it too.
right.
I
But
mean,
they only run through blocking when they're using charge, so it's not like they'll have full. Of course, if the character already has full movement charge, then yeah, they can do that. So something like maybe Sky Tyrant, that would be cool, I guess. So
I hear it goes across the box, monkey.
yeah, I don't
Uh,
know. I don't know, but no, like I said, I really like that Major Logan pick because yeah, someone that already has like low mobility and but has flurry, yeah, suddenly giving them charge and running through walls is nice. And then especially with if you're the person with Major Logan, if you're charging a colossal or giant or robot, yeah, you just charge him through a wall, punch him, and then flurry him is free. That's really nice.
um, yeah, I really don't have a specific pick. I mean, there is like
He's gonna say Polka Dot Man.
no. Yeah, actually, my pick is Solaris at 25 points.
Not Starfight or Mirror Master.
No, yeah, I mean, I like I said, I don't really think that the pick really truly matters. I think even average movement is like 9 or 10. So moving, 5 squares blows up blocking is insane. That gets through
So
a lot.
here's another. So look at it from this way too, right? I was gonna say, what about a figure that it's like a situational figure, right? Like you don't know what the fuck you're gonna get, right? But in the right situation, right? He is pretty good. So I was thinking like Chase Loki. It's kind of funny. He doesn't have really much of movement attack, but there might be a situation where you do get the flurry. So you could charge flurry blades exploits. Another character, I mean it doesn't really do much, but Ultimate Hulk giving him charge in the beginning is all right, but I think Chase Loki's just hilarious with that one shot.
Yeah, I actually agree. Yeah, now looking at that, yeah, like you said, there's that on the turns where you're like, all right, I randomly get flurry, and your opponent's like, oh, you can't hit me anymore. And you're like, nah, I'm gonna flip this one shot, and then I'm gonna get
Oh,
you.
well, that's what I'm saying. It's like a troll character, right? It's like it's situational, but it's funny though. It's really funny that like okay, it could happen, right?
Again, I don't think that Loki is even a troll character anymore. Again, because Destroyer exists for free, you give him Cathan and Destroyer. He's +3 defense for
I think
free.
like I was even
Yeah.
telling Maverick like for the fellowship group, I thought about playing him at full dial with the destroyer equipment. and not caring. Because you can't poison him, you can't knock him back, you have to really attack him, right? And then the other character that I would pair him with would be like a Major Logan and some low common support figures, right? That like you would think your opponent would play, right? So, for example, Pair Panther, Timebreaker, and maybe like I said, you play Kevin, Per Degaton, stuff like that, right? I thought that would be hilarious.
A wild pick, Camo.
Why Camo? He already does. He charges and destroys block.
Because you probably want to give him Destroyer Armor, and he's kind of dead on his last 2 clicks. I mean, he'd have Giant Reach 2 at that point.
Yeah, but we're talking about the one shot.
Yeah, on those last 2 clicks, you could give him Charge now.
Oh yeah, that's not bad at all.
You get the free place, and then you charge
That's
Flurry.
actually not bad, dude. That's not bad at all. I didn't think
Because
about
you're
it
not
like that.
really, you're not giving him Motorcycle anymore, to be honest. You're giving him Destroyer.
Yeah, and having that Giant Reach stuff help you. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, and then too, it's like, and you would be playing it not even just for Camo. It's like it's good, but like you could also play another character. You know, like you said, like, you could just put Loki on that team and just say, yeah, you know, I could activate it for Loki, or I could, if you hit Camo, I could activate it for that. Yeah, yeah. I think that that's a you're right. Yeah, it's a solid.
Yeah, because that with the Giant Reach, before moving place 3 is huge. Yeah, I think that one shot's gonna be very, very popular. If you don't have it, I mean, you gotta get that. Doesn't that come in? Where does that one shot come in? Is that the LE kit?
That's a good question. You know what? And I actually have a play at home kit right here. Let me open it up and see if it's got something. What is
Because
this one?
I literally just bought that online, dude. I don't know because I didn't know what one shots I was gonna
I
get.
think that comes from the day 1.
Really? Oh, well, good thing I bought it then. Let's see.
But it might come in the Play at Home. I really don't know.
Yeah, because the only 2 that I bought was
I
the
thought Play at
Heimdall.
Home was you wouldn't like me when I'm angry, but
Yeah, because the one shot that I bought was the Unstoppable and Heimdall Sight.
because I know Heimdall and one of them comes in the same pack.
Doesn't look like you get anyone shots in the play at home kit.
Oh fuck! I hope it's not the release date, bro. That is gonna suck because I think that's going. Let's see.
Stoppable Hero Clicks goes for $10. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, it comes with the release day with that Absorbing Man.
Oh, are you serious?
Well,
Hey,
let's gotta hit up paper and plastic, basically. See if we got it.
Yeah, good thing I bought it. I mean, that's primarily what I wanted anyway.
You got a whole kit, or you got just the card?
I just got the card. I should have got the map, but I mean, the kit's going for $60. People were selling it for 60. I was like, holy crap!
$30 right here for shipping. Hey Matt, I'll sell you a card if I buy the $30 pack.
Bro, you still owe me. Anyway, you still owe me.
That's equal into it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I can go into it, but yeah, what do you mean? You gonna sell it to me? What do you mean sell it to me? You mean you won't give it to me? That's what you do. You gonna just give it to me?
Bro, honestly, I wish I could just give you the fucking money so I could forget about it.
No, like I said, you just give me. We'll go through. Even I was talking to Steve too. He's like, yeah, we gotta set up a day where we just go through all the extras and stuff, and just and figure out who needs what, and then go from there. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I got yeah.
So all right, yeah. Seems like you agreed on that one. I guess that Unstoppable is good. I don't know. Unless Maverick, do you think any other one is strictly better than Unstoppable, or is Unstoppable the best one for you as well?
He's going to disagree. Just disagree.
Yeah, I disagree. Rivalry is the.
Yeah, Maverick likes to argue for whatever reason.
Yeah, Rivalry was in this set too, so. Nah, but Unstoppable is the best.
Gotcha. All right. Well, no team to pick on that one. The other it's a piece the piece of terrain that I wanted to talk about is the dumpster fire terrain.
What?
That's
So
our absorbing man chase.
so dumpster fire comes it's a 2x1 piece of blocking terrain that it takes 4 damage to destroy. And it has an effect that says characters within 3 squares modify their attack -1. My question, I guess, is I guess it's like a two-parter. The first is this something that you'd be, that's good enough to use? And if you are using it, is this kind of an auto include in terms of terrain because it doesn't cost anything?
Okay, so it reminds me of the emotional modifier. So I would say, yes, this is something I would consider using. Because, like, looking at the like, obviously the terrain markers people play anyways, like the phone booth, right? I don't think you play the herb. I don't think the herb doesn't do anything as much because people are playing just Bloodstone, right? And or the speculation that people are going to run the main force Bloodstone, right? Dumpster fire, given and I think in the bunker map, right, is brutal. Giving I think it's bad. It's a very it's going to be on a team. I mean, I don't know how to like say it. It's in a defensive shell team in an oppressive map. This blocking terrain becomes oppressive.
Yeah, so I mean, it kind of like how you said, Miguel. So then, imagine you're playing like a defensive team, like you're playing, say, poison ivies, plants, and stuff. So you're not moving out of your starting area, or you're not planning on moving out of your starting area. Is dumpster fire an auto include on a team like that?
Yeah, because I think you could position it right. You position the dumpster fire that it doesn't affect you, right? But if your opponent gets within range of you, it affects them. So it's like it's very defensive. It's the best I could say.
I don't think you can actually keep it in a position like that because then your opponent would just blow it up. I think you'd actually have to have Man-Thing, super strength, pick it up for it to actually have an effect.
Yeah, but most characters don't have 4 damage to blow it up.
And I'm
not saying it's impossible, but I'm just saying like the average, right? Not many characters have 4 damage right off the bat.
And I mean, lots of pieces just walk through it and destroy it.
Yeah, so I
yeah, that too. I'm not gonna like argue. I'm not gonna say that that's not true. I'm just saying like blowing it up with 4 damage. It's very unlikely. But to your argument, yes, you could just walk straight through it and then that's it, right? But then the other argument becomes, well, what if they're playing the nifty traffic barrel?
Yeah, that was kind of my follow-up thing. So if you're playing plants as well, you're probably playing the nifty traffic barrel. So if you're playing Nifty Traffic Barrel plus Dumpster Fire and then plus, another piece of blocking terrain, right? And then you're say you're winning map and you go on Brock's Bunkers, so there's no wherever you place the Dumpster Fire, there isn't going to be a clear line of fire to it because you can put it like behind another wall, so that your opponent can't just shoot it. So I feel like it has a very good potential where your opponent goes, okay, yeah, I can try to come across the map and attack you, but in order for me to be within range to shoot you, I'm also within 3 squares of the Dumpster Fire, so I suffer a -1 attack penalty. And I feel like doing that for free is good. and even Maverick, to your point, even if I feel like even if your opponent takes an action to destroy Dumpster Fire, I feel like what you just did was say for free, for 0 points, you use Incapacitate on an opposing character. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like that's also worth it, right? I don't know.
No, you're not wrong. I mean, it is definitely like it's a good thing. I just think unless you're playing plants, it's not that good because it hinders you as well.
Well, it's okay. So besides the plants, right? People are still playing the barrel before it fucking rotates, right? So you play the barrel with this, and then what the hell do you do? Assuming
So
you're
that okay, so in the case of I'm still playing against this defensive shell, I'm gonna move into your defensive shell now. On the opposite side, and I'm gonna be in it and force you to come into it then. So now it's like now we're just both fighting at -1 attack.
yeah, you can't put this right next to me. It has to be 5 squares away.
Yeah, so the positioning, I don't see how it
But
works.
how do you get?
You have to move a character up.
You're never gonna force your opponent. What I'm saying with this, right? You're putting 5 squares away. You're positioning your team, right? So when in the event that they have to go to you, right? They're within 3 squares, so they're going to get that -1 attack. So that doesn't affect you, but it will affect them.
I mean, you could TK it, yeah. I mean, I just don't see how. I don't know. I get that you basically put it like 4 squares in front of your characters, and now every square between that trash, between the dumpster and me, you can't, you're going to be at -1 attack. But then it also goes for your opponent. If I stay within, or if I leave room in the around the dumpster to where I'm forcing you to have to come into it to attack me, now we're both just playing at disadvantage clicks.
So
is what I'm saying.
Here's my here's where I think this shines a little bit better. So like to to get to the dumpster fire, right? One figure comes into mind that makes it like, which is why I said it would be like I think this is one. I think this figure is. I'm almost 100% sure this figure will be played next week at the Tulsa Cup, right? And that is Chase Magneto. I think Chase Magneto being able to move it for free, right? Or he could TK himself and then shoot that thing because he's got 4 damage with ranged combat experts, improved targeting, destroy blocking.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I also didn't mention, I mean, you could just have Colossus pick the thing up and then, destroy it as well.
You could pick it up too. I'm not saying that, but you can't. Knowing that your opponent will probably play the nifty traffic barrel and that, but like I said, it's It just depends on the situation, but defensively wise, you probably play that, right? I think if you're playing, the barrel and you're more likely playing that, and it works in your favor. But if you're not playing the barrel, then, like I said, playing that, you probably still play it, but it won't be as effective as you want it to be, or as annoying. I guess it should be. It's not going to be as annoying as you want it to be.
Yeah, I'm actually glad that you brought up that Chase Magneto, Miguel, because that's a piece that I was literally looking at him right on ACS, and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to bring this guy up, and then you did. But yeah, it's that Magneto with the dumpster fire. I think is a wildly strong combo. In
Yeah,
the sense that
you can move it right next to him. That was the
yeah,
other thing I was going to say. I
yeah,
forgot to mention was you could literally walk this Magneto, right, free TK the dumpster fire right to your opponent, or in a position where now if they attack Magneto, or in a position where if they try to attack you, they will have -1 attack. On top of having a ESD, so let's just, for example, the average, right? I don't know, 12 attack or 11 attack, right? Let's assume that they're gonna have -1 attack. You still got it's like an 8 or better or 9 or better to hit this Magneto. But I'm just saying you can moving the free terrain marker is what makes, like I said, I think Chase Magneto. I haven't looked at any set reviews, but I think he is gonna be. I think he is meta. I think he will be played because you have a lot of good characters with the Brotherhood of Mutants keyword. Plus, free TK for himself is always good, but that's
that's the thing. I think he's good enough baseline just because of the fact that he TKs himself for free, so he gives himself a good amount of reach for Alpha Strike. On top of, like I said, he's the only character in the game that has that maneuverability for terrain. That can just go, no, I'm going to place this over here, just for free. So, I think he's really good for that. I'm also even thinking about like crazy scenarios where, like, your opponent is playing like a plants team, so they're playing dumpster fire, and then you're playing Magneto with also dumpster fire, and you just chuck 2 dumpster fires next to them, and they're like, "Oh, I get -2 attack now." And you're like, "Yeah," you know. I just think
that's like a fun situation, yeah.
Yeah, it's just hilarious to me. I'm like, I definitely agree with you. I think that Magneto he's good enough, and on top of he's got Mastermind too.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing I forgot to mention is you could just mastermind to a fucking time breaker. Also, too, what I liked about this guy was you could play like who the fuck that came to mind was Ruler, right? You could play him with the butterfly, and now you have free mastermind fodder.
I don't think you can mastermind the butterflies. I think they specifically say you can't.
Oh crap! So you could do maybe politician.
Well, I mean, but to your points, he's got ruler and pass, which according to you guys are the strongest keywords in the game right now. So there you go.
Well, pass, you can make him an Avenger. So
And,
then
and
Avenger
he's an Avenger, which is also by default, because past is strong, Avengers is even stronger. So there you go. He's great.
yeah, yeah. You got a 13
Where's
attack.
that poker chip baby Groot that gives adjacent friendly characters the Guardians of the Galaxy TA good?
I don't know.
So what? What is it? What are you asking?
There's that Pog baby Groot, that bystander that gives out Guardians of the Galaxy to adjacent characters.
Is
he good?
Shape change adjacent friendly characters have guardians. I don't think the Guardians TA. I Guardians TA. I don't think is great.
But it says you can't modify my stuff at all.
Yeah, but that just basically means like, okay, I can't perplex you down.
Yeah, the dumpsters would also have no effect.
Yeah, right. I mean, let's see, because Guardians is this character's combat values can't be modified by opposing characters' effects. So this is a terrain, so it actually doesn't work against that.
Womp womp.
He said, "Whoa." He said, "Get Magneto, bitch! I'm gonna throw this dumpster at you."
That's what I said. Magneto. Like I think the hot chase of the set is
Wait, would
Magneto.
this group then cancel the effects of Kale?
No, because Kale's not modifying anything. Mern's not modifying anything. So that doesn't. Yeah, that's why I'm saying like the Guardians TA doesn't do much. If there's like a strong effects that modify things like negatively, then Guardians TA is good. But there's not a lot of that right now. There's not a lot of that that's also competitive right now. So it's not worth playing Guardians.
Okay.
So Maverick, are you playing? You gonna be playing Dumpster Fire, or are you a dumpster hater?
I think it hinders me. So I don't play stuff that hinders me. Because my opponent is better than me, and they'll use it to their advantage.
My opponent is better than me.
I played against Matt enough to know that he's better, and I know for a fact if I played Dumpster Fire, even if I built a team that would use it, he'd still proceed to whoop my ass with it, even though it's on my team. So, it's not going to get played on my teams.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was playing somebody, in a casual game, but I think here, let me double check to make sure. Well, I forgot what was he using. Was he using old King Thor? No, it wasn't Old King Thor because he's the same thing by characters. I forgot what he was using. Something that's like couldn't be modified at all. I forgot. Anyway, whatever. Ignore my point. I can't think of the character now anymore. But so yeah, so Maverick is a dumpster hater, and Miguel, seems like you're on board for the dumpster fire.
Yep, I'm a dumpster baby apparently.
Dumpster baby.
Yeah, we're gonna get censored, bro. They're gonna shut this channel down.
We ain't making money, that's for sure.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we gotta get monetized now, guys. Can't say
That's not happening.
No, but
Well,
we are never going to lose our sponsor of nut butter. That's never going to happen.
I mean, I don't know.
if they stop, if they don't want to sponsor us, that's a problem because they got the most non PG name there is.
I don't know. I'm going to keep asking this every time. You guys got time for another one? Or do you want to jump off?
I mean, if you're gonna keep asking, I don't know. Maverick is his bedtime is looking pretty
You're rolling,
bad.
bro.
Boy, let's see. I'm just looking at stuff.
I did want to bring one thing up. What is the thought on Spirit of Vengeance Red Hulk Legacy?
That's the one that he's got like what 3 or 4 stop clicks in a row.
He's got like 4 stop clicks, and each one he brings out a character from his pilot trait. But if they get KO'd, he takes an unavoidable damage.
So what's his name? Is it actually called Spirit of Vengeance?
Yeah, Spirit of Vengeance Red Hulk. Yeah, that's his full name.
Red Hulk. Okay, yeah. So he's got. Let me see. But yeah, so it's just when this click is revealed. So even if they KO the next thing, it still brings out the next thing. I'm not in love with the piece, but let's see, because he gets 4 characters on the sideline. Beginning of turn, you can just attack a damage. You can use the same powers. So he basically gets 4 attack powers or 4 damage powers. Is that what it says, right?
Yeah, basically, it's either 4 attack or 4 damage.
Yeah. Which is great. Obviously, 4 damage powers is wildly insane.
What
But
shape change, exploit,
yeah,
prob,
prob, perplex, shape change,
outwit.
yeah, maybe outwit or or like you said, a penetrating exploit. You can
think it's exploit, prob, shape change, and then it's up to debate whatever you want for the last.
Yeah, and the same thing for attack powers. I don't know if you would ever choose attack. Which I mean,
attack, you'd pick blades.
yeah, but it's weird. Like by picking blades, you're losing all those really cool damage powers. You know what I mean? I feel like damage powers are on average stronger. Because aside from
I guess
blades,
it's like a contingency, I guess is the way to put it. Like, I'm on last click. You know, maybe there's an attack power that you pick that might... You know, Smoke Cloud, just saying, it could be that clutch moment where Smoke Cloud is used, you know?
yeah, because I mean, he already has poison, and his poison is good. Like if he hits, he can use it even if he's been moved or placed. So I feel like it's just you get 4 damage powers again. That's wildly good because it's effectively any 4 damage
I
powers
guess
you want.
Steel Energy. Sorry, because he has Flurry on the last click.
Oh, that's yeah, okay, yeah, definitely, yeah. Stealing that might be a choice. Yeah, you're right
Steel
on
Energy,
that.
what? Steel Energy Blades and...
So let's see. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got the brute keyword, so you can give him the longsword for free. He also has animal keyword, which is going to be really insane when Lantern Legacy comes out for a reason that I can't explain. um, and then, so yeah, so I mean, he's got good stuff, but it's also like you said, it's because he doesn't. I mean, yeah, he's going to have shape change, so that's going to be a rollout, but yeah, it's 125 points. I don't know.
It's 125 points for like 5 characters in a
Oh
way.
no, you're never gonna pick Steel Energy because on his stock list he can't heal.
Oh,
So
fuck. I guess you're always taking damage, bro.
he says, "Oh fuck, I'm dead." Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, you can get some pretty wild guys that are on their last non-KO clip for his pilots. Like his keywords are, well, they're not the quote unquote best in the game in terms of ruler or past, but animal, brute, monster, mystical soldier, like though there are some wildly strong figures with those keywords that have good last clicks. I mean, like we already know Chase Thanos is insane on his last click. You know what I mean? So bringing him out, bringing him out before Spirit of Vengeance is even dead is definitely and it's making me change my mind on this guy now. I think he might be. I think they might be good. I think people might have to choose Thanos for Chair Panther.
Can't you just play 4 Thanos? Or is Thanos unique? He has to be unique, right?
I don't think the Chase is unique. No, he's not.
Can you just play 4?
Oh no! Holy shit! And hold on. That actually might be the play. Holy smoke! What the heck? Did we just find some wild shit right here? Holy smokes! Okay.
I think I kept 2 of my things.
Yeah, because hold on, it says you can do this, and you turn them each to any click. So Thanos himself already has prob, outwit, and shape change. Those are his damage powers. So you could pick like 3 Chase Thanoses and then 1 something else that gives you another damage power that you like.
Yeah.
And then you get 3 Chase Thanos that come out on their last click. And it's like, yeah, are they gonna kill? Oh my god. That is, oh my lord. I couldn't kill this guy without a trick arrow. Holy cow, that's wild.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened.
Lose because you just get rid of his stop clicks, right? But they still activate, correct? He just stop.
Oh well, yeah, because it says when its click is revealed. So yeah, you would even if you one shot them, you would still generate 4 characters. So like you said, I'm like, I feel like you have to. Oh my god, you have to get like.
The only way to actually get to stop the stop clicks is what like
I'm
you're
hoping
locked.
I still have my Chase Thanoses. I hope I still have my Chase Thanoses because I think I had 3 of them. Oh man, this is
I know I got rid of one for Strange, but now I'm regretting it.
this is
Yeah, I mean, for 125 points, bro, ain't no way.
Hey, how much is Chase Thanos going for right now?
like $30 maybe.
I might have to grab a second. I might have to grab a third.
Holy cow!
I'll say this though, bro. I'll say this. Hey, Thanos shooting a man thing, right? With the defense out with it for 6 damage just feels good.
Oh my gosh! Like
What number is he? Is 040?
for anybody that's actually listening to this episode, I have no idea how long we've been recording. I feel like it's been forever. But for anybody that actually got to this point, if there's especially like if Miguel said if we don't have any audio issues or anything, but holy cow, they were in for a treat. This is wild. Oh man.
Yeah, they got to hear the biggest thing.
I would pick up this legacy card and legacy figure as quickly as possible.
I think I did, didn't I?
I'm just saying
Did
because
I think was that did I get that in the collection from Noah? Holy
Yeah, you
cow.
You did.
Okay. So I don't want to sound greedy, but I'm probably going to have to keep that piece if that was in there. If that was in there, I'm not sure if it was.
well, there goes the fellowship price.
No, just the one piece. No, but I don't think it was in there. I don't know.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I know for a fucking fact it was in that collection.
Well, let's see. He said
If you go to trades and sale right now, it's
he's got
almost
in the picture it's Vengeance, so that's not him. But
nah, he didn't. No, I thought the Vengeance was it.
False alarm, false alarm.
Andrew has it.
I
Dude,
think
hit up
Andrew.
Andrew for $50 right now. He'll sell it to you.
Oh, I'm messaging. Boy, you better.
Yeah, I hope you don't listen to the episode before then, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, he already sent the message.
Yeah, well, I mean, I hope you get recorded long enough to where you don't have time to listen to it.
Wow. Fuck.
Otherwise, Matt's gonna get
Trying
screwed.
to fuck over the community. Wow, Maverick. You are terrible. And he's awake. The guy's typing right now. Oh my god, he's bringing it next week. Oh, I need thumbs up, bro. Oh, that's
Bro,
fucked
I
up.
want to tell you LOL right now, bro.
Oh my god. Well, look, I guess I'll do that too. I'll do this. I'll just send an emoji.
Bro, it's
the nerd one.
He's, Matt's gonna purposely delay this episode. Yeah, I'll release this on the Fellowship Cup.
No. I'm gonna try to get it done basically as soon as we're done with this. So,
He's gonna drive out to Indiana, Munster, Indiana.
well, no, but here's the thing: is if for some reason there is one also in Noah's collection, like I will definitely be putting that in the.
oh my god.
Oh my goodness, though. But yeah, holy smokes!
Wait, should I pick this up?
I'm glad that that I took a second.
Oh, dude, you know what? Am I crazy enough to fucking spend the money right now $60 for that legacy card.
For the card?
For the card. Dude, if someone else finds out, if people find out about this, it's gonna shoot to like $100.
Yeah, because what's stopping you from playing?
Here's the thing. Here's the overall problem, right? Is because it's me, I'm gonna buy the $60 card. They're gonna errata the fucking piece to say can't pick a character with the same name. Because if Daniel Powell or someone like that finds this combo, plays it, WizKids is gonna be like, oh, well, this is like the Ghost Rider Dark Side combo. Can't let that happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he's being negative.
Well,
I'm not being negative. I'm being realistic because there's money here, and it's like I don't know if I want to spend the money.
I don't. The Ghost Rider or the Dark Side one, that was just a problem because the Dark Side didn't die. Like he came back to life on like first click, so it was points you couldn't score, and it was 300 points of character that you couldn't remove from the map easily. I don't think this is as bad, but I think we all know like it's annoying as all hell to suddenly have
the argument, right?
Pop out.
To that argument, it's the we know that I think everybody knows about that combo, right? I think they know because why else would they post this legacy card or the legacy card, right, for 60 plus?
Because that's what every legacy card is going for.
Yeah,
not really. Look at the other legacy cards. They're not going as close as that price.
Leader. Let me look up leader.
Leader is wild too. Leader.
Yeah, but I mean, look, bro. Let's be real. You want to buy?
Leader is dirt fucking cheap right now, guys.
That's what I'm saying. So there's no way people don't know about this combo. But how do you?
Sought after piece.
They're not paying attention, bro. Like they're not really. There's no freaking way they're really digging deep into this. You also got to get the figure. That's the other thing too.
Well, that's why I think this legacy is going for so much. Is because it's first off, it's a sought after like LE now. Because I mean, it was always cool. It was always like one of their coolest LEs in like looks. It sucked ass as a dial. I mean, its OG dial is horrendous, but it's like it's a sought after piece. So I think that's why the card is going for so much. Because I mean, Green Scar, everyone knows is good, and he's going for like $50.
I mean, Green Scar is another reason why I feel like you are forced to build a team that deals with people having, increased combat values. Because if you have, imagine an opponent taking a turn and they hit you 6 times with an attack that each time does 8 damage. Do you get a turn after that? You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm like, no, I can't make a team that allows that. It's like, yeah, sure, you can hit me 6 times each time for 8 damage. Yeah, that's cool. 13 attack for 8, that's awesome. Go for it. Like, no, I can't. I can't do that. I'm like, you gotta be either like I said, Jennifer Kale. So you're like, bro, you're 10 attack. That's all you're getting. Because or else I feel like you just kind of lose in one turn.
Yeah. To answer the one question you were asking, how long have we been recording? I think it's been like 2 hours.
think it's been longer than that.
We're gonna end it off on the biggest note.
I can't steal time.
Oh, let's see. We started. Yeah, it's been over 2 hours. Yeah, it's been almost 2.5.
So we could probably stop here, yeah? On the note of Thanos' Spirit of Vengeance Red Hulk combo is ridiculous.
Okay, here, hold this. One real quick. We'll do one more rapid fire. This is it's a quick one. You don't have to explain your reasoning why. Just in the Captain America's kooky quartet, right? You got 4 characters.
Maverick just sucks, bro. That's it.
Captain America, Hawkeye, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch. Who has the best 25-point line? Pick which one. You don't have to say
Scarlet
why.
Fuck. You got me. I don't fucking know. 25-point line. Fucking. I'll say fucking Quicksilver.
Ain't
Sorry.
nobody agreeing with that.
It says ain't nobody agreeing.
Oh, hell no, bro. Any option but Scarlet Witch is wrong.
You dumb as fuck, bro. Double rollouts.
Flex, prob, outwit.
I don't give
all
a fuck.
Avengers
Double
get as
rollouts.
mystics. Get out of here. Just get out of here. Like, just stop.
Everybody hits +2 speed. What do you want? You're on crack.
Bro, everyone gets mystics is 10 times better than, I have +2 speed. I'm really going to get into this battle.
Then I have Invincible. Then what does Mystics do? Nothing.
Well, okay. Oh, I still have prob, perplex, outwit. I also got TK.
Yeah, and then you get hit for 3 and then you're just dead.
Same for you, my guy. Same with
I
Quicksilver.
have 2 rollouts, my guy. You call me out with 1.
I have
you
2
call me out with 1, bro. And you don't have no movement attacks, so then what are you doing?
I have 2 outwits. Bye-bye, Quicksilver.
You get hit 1 time, that's it, bro. So now what?
Bro, honestly, you're picking a... Like,
don't even start like, oh, you're picking
nothing for the team.
Movement attack with double rollouts. Yeah, that's what I would do.
That is exactly a Miguel pick, and that is why it's wrong, and that's why Scarlet Witch is better.
Yeah, no movement attack. I deal 2 damage, and I don't do shit. Yep, that's Maverick.
If someone doesn't agree with Scarlet Witch, they're wrong. If you're agreeing with Quicksilver, it's just incorrect. I'm sorry, you're just incorrect.
Yeah,
Your life is a lie.
Whole Maverick piece. I sit in the corner and don't do shit.
You literally TK up an attacker, and then you could perplex them, and then you could potentially get carried across the map. Now you could outwit. Now you could prob the attack.
No,
My
they said by himself.
Quicksilver is doing so much damage. No, it's not. It's doing 11 for 3.
You just die in 3, bro. I don't know what you want.
So do you. You're arguing that just dying in 3. You also die in 3.
2 damage, and you're still. You give me 2 damage, and that's it. Now what? Now I have a 12 for 4.
2 damage, or you're still bare minimum nothing.
Bro, you die in 3. That's it. Get out of here. Done. No roll up, bro. Done.
Oh my god, bro.
Miguel, thanks everybody for listening.